Kamehameha. Yeah, I still got it. Everyone, this is Rabbit as well at Animation Bliss, and welcome to another Anime Corner. So today's anime that we'll be talking about today is Dragon Ball Z. So the show is about a young Saiyan named Goku who has a son named Gohan. And early on in the show, he discovers that he's actually a Saiyan, a vicious alien race that's the most powerful alien race across the universe. And once Goku discovers about his true heritage, he spends most of the series trying to protect the planet Earth from various foes such as Frieza, Cell, and Majin Buu. So what are my thoughts on Dragon Ball Z? I absolutely love this show. So let's talk about what I liked about the show. So the first thing that I liked about the show was how iconic it was. So when I was growing up, like the first two anime series I've seen were Sailor Moon and Ronin Warriors. And even though those two anime series were the first mainstream anime shows I've seen, it was Dragon Ball Z that made me fall in love with anime as a genre. And because of that, I started watching a lot of anime shows after Dragon Ball Z. And Dragon Ball Z has such an impact on the anime industry as a whole, as well as the action genre as a whole. Like there's like a lot of TV shows and movies and stuff that are inspired by Dragon Ball Z, and of course you have a couple of video games that were inspired by Dragon Ball Z. The most noticeable one is of course Sonic the Hedgehog, and I just love how Dragon Ball Z was just such an inspiration to all the other anime shows that came after it, especially in regards to its action sequences and its characters. So yeah, I think Dragon Ball Z is very iconic and how it portrays its characters and how it does the fight scenes, and all the other anime shows that came after Dragon Ball Z were heavily inspired by it. Another thing that I liked about the show were the fight sequences. So Dragon Ball Z has some of the best fighting sequences that I've ever seen in any anime show, and those fight sequences are done very well. Like I love the fact that there's a lot of martial arts fighting being used in the series. Like you have Goku and his friends fighting off foes by punching at them or kicking at them in ways that you see in a lot of martial arts movies. And they also shoot energy blasts at their enemies, which are also very well done. Like one of the most iconic fighting moves in the series is Goku's Kamehameha wave. Like he goes like Kamehameha, and that's like the fight move that I remember the most from Goku, and it's definitely one of his most iconic moves in the entire series. And the show does a fantastic job at animating those fight sequences. Like the fight sequences look so fluid and everything, and I just love the fight sequences in the show in general. Another thing that I liked about the show were the characters themselves. I think this show did a fantastic job at developing each of the characters. Like two of the characters that got the most development in the show were Piccolo and Vegeta, as they both started off as antagonists towards Goku, but then they ended up being some of the most heroic characters in the show after they went through some character development. Like we get to see how their interactions with the good guys made them into better characters. Like we get to see how Piccolo bonds with Gohan, Goku's son, and how his connection towards Gohan made Piccolo into such a better character. And then of course there's Vegeta, who took a bit longer to develop as a character, but we get to see how Vegeta has a positive interaction with Bulma and Trunks, and we also get to see how Goku has a positive influence on Vegeta and made Vegeta into a much more heroic character. So I love how this show is able to develop all these characters in such a natural way and make them much more sympathetic. So yeah, I definitely love the characters in this show. Now, if there was a major issue that I have with the show, was that the storylines tend to drag on. Like I remember when I was looking at the episode list, there would be like 50 episodes centered around one story arc, and it would take like a long time for said story arc to actually wrap up. Like you have the Saiyan saga that lasted for like over 50 episodes or something in the first season, and I was like, when is this story arc going to wrap up? Like, why are they spending so much time on this one story arc? And this was the case for the rest of the seasons as well, as they spend so much time on one story arc, and it takes them like 50 or so episodes just to resolve that story arc, and it takes like forever just to move on to the next story arc. So yeah, that's one of my biggest gripes with the show, was that the story arcs tend to be too long, and I wish that the story arcs were wrapped up a little quicker instead of dragging on for so long. And now a word from this channel. All All aboard the Animated Social Media Express. Want to send some treats my way? Then follow me on Twitter. Want to join our special animation community? Then join our Discord group, Animation Bliss. Want to see more updates on our YouTube videos? Then check out our Facebook group, Animation Bliss. Want to download on everything going on with this channel? Then check all the above. And now, back to the video. But overall, I really enjoy Dragon Ball Z. Even though the story arcs tend to drag on too long at times, I love the fact that this show was very iconic to the anime industry, as it inspires so many other anime shows that came after it. And I really love the fight sequences, as they're some of the best fight sequences I've seen out of any anime show. And I especially love the characters themselves, as they're very well developed. And I really love how sympathetic these characters become over time with this show. So yeah, if you're looking for an old school anime series that has some really good fight sequences and some really good characters, I highly recommend Dragon Ball Z. So those are my thoughts on Dragon Ball Z, and tell me in the comments down below, have you seen Dragon Ball Z? And if you have, did you like this show? Did you hate this show? And what do you think is the most iconic anime series? Please let me know in the comments down below. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This is Rabbit at Animation Bliss, and I'll see you guys later. Hey animation fans, like this video? If you want to see more animated content from this channel, then please hit that big old animated subscribe button so that you can get more awesome content from this channel.